Hey friends, welcome to another Tekoa Talk. We just celebrated Easter this past weekend, and Pastor Austin shared a message about our hope for today, and that we don't just have hope in the future and eternity, but we get a renewed sense of hope every day. And so we want to invite you to join us today as we jump in and talk more about what that means for us and practically how we can do that.
Yeah, I think sometimes we have this hope for the distant future, or we have hope for eternity, but sometimes in the moment, that's when we really need hope. When life is difficult, when life is challenging. I was thinking about the movie Unbreakable, if you've ever seen that movie. And it's a person who in World War II gets stranded in the middle of the ocean in a raft because their plane went down, and almost dies from that encounter, and then gets rescued and sent to a war camp. And just when it seems like there's hope coming for them, it's like dashed and gets stuck in this war camp for years and fights through all of that to eventually survive in horrible conditions. But the hope that he had to have day after day, even when it seemed like things were going to get better and then it got worse. I think that's sometimes the most challenging situations when we think, okay, life is finally going to get better. Or, maybe this year you thought like, okay, like COVID's going down and life is like opening up, but does it actually get better or does it get worse? Like, we don't know.
Right.
But hope lets us keep going and have a positive perspective no matter what we encounter.
Well, I think also too, it's a choice. Like, we can choose to be hopeful in our circumstances. We can choose to hope for a better circumstance in an hour or even in a week. And somebody I was talking to was saying that they hope not that tomorrow will be better, but it'll be different. And I think so often we strive for things to be better, and we put these false hopes in things, and to really have a better perspective of like, we have a choice to be hopeful, and we have a choice of what we put our hope in. And as believers, like, our hope is in Jesus, and because of his death, we get that hope that we get a renewed relationship with God, and that we have a better eternity waiting for us, but also a better today and a better tomorrow because he's with us.
Yeah, I think that reassurance that God is on our side. And I think about one of the things I'm grateful for in marriage is that I know that Allie is always in my corner no matter what happens in life. And one of the things I'm grateful for is in my relationship with God is that he's also always in my corner. And that definitely gives me hope that even when things seem dark, even things seem like they might be getting worse, that I know God is with me. He's never going to leave me. He's never going to abandon me. And that definitely gives me hope.
Well, I think too, to elaborate on that, not just with significant others, but like, God calls us to do life with others. Like, we're supposed to do life in a community. And I think sometimes we can borrow people's hope. That if you feel like you're that guy who's stuck on a raft and then in this war camp and all the things, like, there might have been times where his hope was borrowed from somebody else. And
Definitely was.
Yeah. And I know for me, there's times when I am like at the end of my rope, and I'm like, okay, God, like, I've renewed my hope every day, and like today I just don't have it in me. Being able to reach out to others and being like, hey, kind of struggling, and either they share their hope with me or they give me something that like renews that. But I think sometimes when we feel like everything's hopeless, that we get to borrow other people's hope. So whether that be a significant other, a friend, a mentor, it can look different for everybody, but I think that's something so valuable about having that community that you do life with, not just the good, but also the bad, that you can sometimes borrow their hope and be renewed that way.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think a community is so valuable, and when life is difficult, knowing that there's people with you. I think when we get isolated, when we get alone, it's been one of the hardest things about this last year is that most of us have had our relational circles shrunk in some way. And the more isolated we get, the more alone we get. That's hard. And it's hard when life throws things at you. It's especially hard because there's nobody there to walk alongside you and bring you a meal when you need a meal, or just offer you an encouraging word, or let you know that, hey, we're in this together, and I'm not going to let you fall down and not get back up. I'm there to help you if you fall down. And so that's, we want to encourage you as well. Reach out to community. Connect with us as a church. Reach out to friends. Reach out to the people that you know, but build those relationships. Take the time this week to invest in those relationships so that when you need it, you can borrow hope from those people. When you're in situations build your faith so that when life gets difficult, you can rely on the hope that God is with you and He's there for you. So we are grateful that you joined us this week. I hope that you can lean into that truth, that hope is a choice that you get to make. And you can choose despair or you can choose hope, but it's up to you of how you're going to look at the situation, how you're going to look at your future. So we're grateful you joined us. Hit the like button, subscribe below so you can stay up to date on what we're doing as a church, and we hope you have a great week.